Donbas and continues with its attack at times towards Odessa, at times towards Kiev or Kharkiv side, the issue remains that vacating the areas which are occupied by Ukraine. Now, this has to be understood. Which is this area? This area basically, yeah, the point which is sticking out is the Donbas area. It is the eastern Ukraine and primarily the Donetsk. When we talk about Donbas, there are two regions, two oblasts. One is Luhansk, the other one is Donetsk. In Donetsk, actually, there are 10% of the area which is presently under occupation by Ukraine. This is that Russia is demanding that Ukraine must vacate this 10% area and Donetsk must be, they want to keep Donetsk under their feet. That is what the demand is. But whether Ukraine will vacate it or not, because I don't know, this 10% area, if Ukraine vacates, then it enables Russia to occupy such dominating and pivotal position, which gives multi-directional cardinal approaches towards further north and northwest, that is towards Kiev and Kharkiv and Sumy and all these areas. Although they're very far off, but what am I saying is that this 10% area has got such laterals and arteries of communication. They intersect each other, be it the railway line or the roads, national highways. They intersect and provide multiple connectivities with areas which are in depth. So therefore, Russia wants to actually occupy this vantage position. Hence, it is demanding that it should be vacated. Now, as per the indications which are coming, Zelensky, for a change, has started indicating that they will vacate. But whether it is going to take place or not, that the parliament of Ukraine has a major say, because everything which is being decided, talked about the sovereignty or territorial integrity, the president doesn't have any say. Zelensky today is neither the technical nor the legal leader. He doesn't have any locus standi. It is the parliament of Ukraine which has to take a call, and based on the ratified result, the peace proposal will see the light of the day. And third point which you made is that, is it moving ahead in a tangible, in a progressive manner? Yes, it is moving ahead. And even if it is not, let's hope for the best. The only two sticking points are the issue which I have just described. It is about the Donetsk and the Luhansk. Back to you, Thomas.
Indeed, and of course, this territory.
They are making their port, their only port available is Odessa. It will be much more vulnerable. When I talk about Odessa, what it means is that the nearest oblast is Kherson, and the distance is around 55 kilometers. And 55 kilometers can be actually traversed by an offensive military campaign in just about 2 nights, 2 to 3 nights, maybe one night itself. They will be able to go around, cordon off Odessa from the continental side as also from the maritime side, and isolate it in so effective manner that Ukraine can be threatened any point in time. So therefore, what about the peace proposal with regard to the contact points? Are they going to freeze wherever they are at Kherson? This has not been talked about in the recent meeting. Even if it has been talked up, discussed, the issue hasn't come to light. So this is another issue which will, and Russia never is going to accept any kind of compromise with regard to this bridge, the land bridge which is connecting with Crimea, and they would like to keep the shoulders, particularly the western shoulder towards Donbas and Kherson and Zaporizhzhia. Zaporizhzhia is another very interesting issue. Zaporizhzhia, in fact, the nuclear reactor, the largest ones, which provide almost close to 51% of the energy of Ukraine, more than 51%. And if Zaporizhzhia is under Russia, now this again has to be negotiated. How is the power supply going to be connected or provided to Ukraine if the major source is there under the Russia? It has been there with Russia since 2022. So there are very, very tricky issues, sticky issues. And another issue which may come up is the security guarantee. Just now in your narrative, you spoke about security assurance and security guarantee. You see, people have to understand that there is a distinction between the two. Guarantee talks about the legally binding commitment of the stakeholders.
Yes.
Assurance way back in 1994, they had been given assurance by UK, by Russia, by USA, China and France on the sideline. They also gave assurance later on. But what happened? Ukraine was yet invaded by one of the members who was party to the understanding. So that was with regard
Yes.
to surrendering or handing over the nuclear weapons to Russia. So this is another very tricky issue. How is it going to fructify? So only the ballpark points have been agreed to by Donald Trump. The nitty-gritties have to be gone into by the people who are tying up
Yes.
or formulating the details. Time will tell us as to how it is going to come up, and I am very confident that it is moving in the right direction. Even if it is not, the whole world must get together collectively and try and give support to this particular move. Let peace come back to this mindless conflict area in the Eastern Europe.
Yes, Major General Sadakarji, as always, it is a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you very much for taking the time in joining us. We now move